Hi everyone, this is Callie with craftingcallie.wordpress.com. Sorry for my voice, I am still feeling a little bit under the weather, but I wanted to share this beautiful card with you. Not that my card is beautiful, but I think this stamp set is beautiful. And it's called Lila's Heart by Simon Says Stamp, and called Lila's Heart, and I just love this name. Just so you know, this kit is named for Jennifer McGuire's daughter, Lila. And I love this name, and I've loved it for years. So when this set came out and I saw it, I fell in love with it, and it's just, all the better that it is named after Jennifer McGuire's daughter. But I'm also Copic coloring for the very first time today, so please bear with me. So on this image here, I stamped with Memento black ink, which is Copic friendly, on Nina White solar cardstock, which is also Copic friendly. I can't use Stampin' Up! White paper because it's coated with clay, and it doesn't blend as well. So that's why I had to use Nina White solar cardstock. The first color was a lighter brown, and I did buy all the Copics. I just did not get all the Copics in together. So right now I just have a little bit more than half of them. And I had to choose colors that I had on hand. So this little Lila is going to be brunette. So I first blended with the lightest color, which was E33, and the medium color is E23. I'm sorry, E33 was the first color, and E23 was the second color. And now I'm going over it with the darkest, which is E37. And I'm just going over the the curls, and going over what I previously colored, but I'm adding depth, of course, and just blending it all out, and giving her hair some definition. And it's always good to go back over it with the lightest color, which was E33 here, and just blending it all out. It's your personal preference from what I've seen, whether you want to start with a dark color and work towards the light color, or start with the light and go towards the dark. I think that it's a great advice to start with the light and color your entire image to basically prime the paper for blending. So that's what I'm adapting to, and I think that it's a good idea, I guess. Um, the next color is going to be a teal color for her dress. And from the caps, when I was holding up the three markers there, it didn't look like the colors would blend very well. But when I purchased Copics, I also purchased Sandy Allnock's Hex Chart, which helps you visibly see colors, see how they are colored on paper, and match them up and decide how to blend versus matching them from color or groups, and how the caps look. So yeah, these colors look very different on their caps, but when you blend them, they look great together. So I think that Sandy Allnock's Hex Chart is wonderful for a beginner like myself, because really, to be honest, I would have not known how to begin with choosing the right color combinations. I looked at several sites and tried to learn what were the best colors to buy. In order to start off with Copics, and I was a little bit frustrated because everyone had different personal preferences in their blues and greens and yellows. So I decided to buy them all, and I explained my reasonings and everything in my last blog post on WordPress.com. So if you're interested to see what I have to say, and see where I got my Copics from, you can visit my blog. But yeah, I feel like I've watched tons of videos, and I've watched other people do some great things with Copics, and I decided I wanted to do that too, and I wanted to be able to color and master this art. So I'm learning quickly that how valuable the hex chart is for a new beginner Copic color like myself. So as I'm jabbering on, I'm also coloring the dress, and I've just finished that. So I'm going to start coloring the shoes now using some cool grays. I did stamp the image a little bit imperfect there towards the bottom left-hand corner of her shoe, but I knew I was going to color in gray, her shoes in gray, so it didn't bother me so much. So even though it's a small area, it's still going to be shading with three colors, with a light, dark, and medium, to give it some some dimension and depth. So now I'm going to work on the heart. Again, I didn't have all the colors, so I didn't find any reds that I liked or any pinks that I liked. So I'm going with a more purplish hue for the heart here. And I tried to pick some colors that blended as well as it could, and I pretty much stayed within the same color family. So these are the red violets, which is what the RV stands for. So the first one was the lightest color, which was RV53. This one is RV63. And then I'm going to go with the darkest color, RV55. So you can see here that I went from 52 to 63 back to 55. So the numbers don't necessarily mean that it's darker or lighter. It's just a matter of saturation of the color. So now I am going over it again with the lighter color to blend it all out. So once I'm done coloring and I'm happy with what Lila looks like, I'm going to fussy cut her out. There is a matching die set with this stamp set that I did not get, so I am going to do some fussy cutting. And so just a quick tip, when you're fussy cutting, you want to move your paper and not your pair of scissors. So I've just always cut this way, but apparently some people don't, and it's a great advice to provide, and moving the paper will help you turn the paper more easily, and so you don't have a lot of sharp edges when you're cutting. So anyway, I have some cardstock designer series paper from Stampin' Up! From the Best Year Ever designer series, and this is now retired. It was from the celebration period, so I decided to use it because it was the right color choice that I wanted to do for my card, and I wanted to choose a teal color that would match her dress. So I am making my own frame for the card base because I don't have any rectangle dies. So I cut a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I am just cutting a frame halfway or half an inch into the card without cutting all the way through. So I have this frame, and I'm going to put it on my card base. And I decided I wanted to stamp some hearts in the background. So I'm going to pull in the Perpetual Birthday Calendar and use the heart stamps from this set. The set is by Stampin' Up! And it's made for a calendar set, but it's got some cute little stamps in there that you can use. And so I'm going to use the hearts and use some pink pirouette to stamp these hearts. And I don't think I've ever used these stamps before, so I'm just priming it on some scrap paper. So I start stamping, and I thought maybe I could stamp off a little bit to give some light and dark colors, but as you can see, it didn't work very well there, and so now it looks like I've messed up my card base, but I'm going to keep using it, and I think I'm going to cover it up towards the end. So I put that frame back on there to make sure the hearts are right where I want them to be, and see if I need any more, and I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to lay it all out, and then I decide I want to put a sentiment on the frame towards the bottom there. So I'm pulling back in Lila's heart set, and I'm going to prime that, as you can see, and then I'm going to stamp towards the bottom of the frame, and it says, "You have the biggest heart." It's just so cute. So now I decide I want to prop up that frame with some 3M foam. So I pull out my roll, and I'm going to cut that in half because it's an actual 1-inch roll, and I just want it to be a half an inch. And luckily it fits just right, and really I could have trimmed it a little bit more, but I took the chance and hoped that it would fit perfectly, and I think it worked out okay. I'm going to put 3M foam tape all the way around this, and then I'm going to mount it on my card base. And then I decided I wanted to prop Lila up as well, so I put some 3M foam tape on her, and I thought I was done, and I decided that I wanted to put some sequins to hide that stamping off technique there that I did with the hearts that didn't turn out so well, to hide what you see there on the right side of that card. So you'll see here that I add some, just a few sequins to the card as I finished, and I think it turned out pretty cute, and I'm so excited to have been able to color with Copics for the first time and to make this card. I hope you all liked it. Thanks for bearing with me, and Please like my video, and thanks again for watching and following. Have a great day. Bye-bye.